Welcome to Travel in 20, your weekly passport to travelling like a pro. I'm Jacqui Felgate, and each week I'll be joined by travel insiders to uncover their top tips in just 20 minutes. This episode is brought to you in partnership with Garuda Indonesia and Melbourne Airport. Today we travel to one of Australia's most popular holiday destinations with Aaron Corbett, Luxury Escapes Bali expert, to find out how to get the most out of your trip to Indonesia. Hello Aaron, how are you?
Good, Jacqui. How are you?
I'm really well. Now, how often do you get to go to Bali? You're like the luckiest person I've interviewed.
Yeah, I get to go quite regularly. I'm going on Sunday. Like I typically go like every 2 to 3 months. And I love it. Like I fall more in love with it every time I go.
Bali, it really is a rite of passage, I think, for Australians, whether it's your first holiday, your honeymoon, or you've got the kids on board.
Yeah.
We've all sort of been there at some time. But how do we get there? What's the best way?
Well, that's the thing with Bali. It's really accessible for everyone in Australia, you know, whether you're on the West Coast in Perth or you're here in Melbourne. So I live in Melbourne. I go to Melbourne Airport. It's a really easy airport as well. Like if you want to transit through Melbourne, it's all in the one big terminal essentially.
But it's a quick flight.
It's a quick flight, yeah. Like Garuda's, you know, one of the only full service airlines flying there. So it's about 6 hours.
It's quicker on the way back.
It's about 5 hours on the way back. Yeah, I think you've got a bit of wind, which helps you.
But if we want to arrive there rested and ready to go, Garuda's got the business class as well.
They do, yeah. So they're the only carrier from Australia into Bali with flatbeds, which is fantastic. And also, like I travel with a lot of surfboards and things, a lot of luggage as well. So, you know, you can check all your bags in with them. So
and that's helpful as well when, like me, you've got the 2 kids on board. They don't travel lightly. They've always got a lot of stuff.
No, like those little yo-yo prams that you use, they're put in the overheads.
Yeah.
No, they don't travel lightly at all. And just like, I guess, having the screens on the back of the seats so the kids can have a bit of entertainment helps.
Yeah, I think to start off your holiday well is always a good beginning to any trip away, isn't it? You arrive, you relax, and it's not stressful. And you've got a couple of tips as well for when we do get to the airport on the other side.
Yeah, definitely. So when you arrive, you've got the visa on arrival that you can process. So you can either pay with cash or a credit card, so they accept Visa. So that's something to keep in mind. I always recommend have your ground transportation all organised before you go. So you can
do that through Luxury Escapes.
Yeah. So we've got our own Luxury Escapes cars. So on busy days, like we'll do about 240 transfers on a day. Yeah. Great black cars, Luxury Escapes on the sides. They'll be there waiting for you. They'll take you straight to the hotel. They know where you're going. Because it can be a bit overwhelming when you arrive into a destination, overseas destination. Like, you know, the people are waving at you. Do you want transportation?
No, I want that organised before
you want it all
Thank
done.
you.
Yeah. And they also do a VIP arrival assistance, which is really handy, especially if you're traveling by yourself or you just don't want the fuss. As soon as you walk off the plane, they'll stand there with a sign with your name on it. They'll wave you down. They'll go get your luggage. They'll take you out to your driver. They'll put you in the car and let you go. So that's if you want to take your experience just a whole new level and just really relax and not have to worry about anything, that's a great alternative.
Why wouldn't I, Aaron?
Why wouldn't you? Definitely not.
And what an amazing job you have, the Bali expert, because we all want to know how you got this job.
Yeah, I kind of just fell into the travel industry. Like I used to be like a snowboard coach, so obviously liked travel, loved the snow, loved surfing, moved into the travel industry and kind of got lucky.
Yeah, now you're living the dream.
Yes.
So when we get to Bali, let's go through the main areas and I guess what appeals to different groups of people.
Yeah. So we kind of call it like the flop and drop. So like you've got Nusa Dua area, which is only about 15 minutes away from the airport, and they're just big, luxurious resorts. Multiple restaurants, pools, kids clubs. So that's a great area, really nice beach. And then you've got like Uluwatu, which I know probably your personal favourite.
Yeah. Yes.
So Uluwatu is really good surfing. It's kind of up and coming a lot. So a lot of people that used to kind of like live in Canggu area, like a lot of the expats, Canggu's getting really busy now. So a lot of the expats are moving to Uluwatu and they're opening up new restaurants, spas, cold and hot plunge places, and then some new beach clubs as well. So that's really cool.
And you've got the ever popular Seminyak as well.
Yeah, Seminyak is Seminyak. Like, it's fantastic. New restaurants there, beach clubs, luxury resorts, great boutiques, a good mix of people. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I think Bali for Aussies is almost like a rite of passage, and it's one of the most popular destinations for luxury escapes.
Absolutely. So last year we sent 1 in 4 Australians to Bali. And considering we only sell 5-star products, like, that's pretty exceptional, which we're really proud of.
And I think as well, if you're travelling overseas for the first time, I think Bali is a really good destination, and even if you've got kids too, because it's so easy as an Aussie, not only to get there, but when you get there, it's quite easy to navigate, isn't it?
It is. And the Balinese, there's just a real close connection with the Australians and the Balinese. But the first time I went to Bali, I didn't like it. Like, I'll be honest, like, I didn't know where to go. I went with a group of guys. None of us had been there before. And then my sister moved to Bali. So she moved there. She was one of the first people to open up restaurants, like in Canggu.
Wow.
And then she was telling me, go here, go there. And then I really started to love it. And then not only loving Bali, like loving the islands away from Bali as well, like Sumba and Lombok and Nusa Penida. That's where, like, the magic really happens.
Okay, let's do a bit of a deep dive into that then.
Yeah.
And if you're travelling, say, with a family, where do you recommend? And then we'll have a look at if you're going on a honeymoon maybe, if you want to get away from it all, or if you want that ultra luxe experience. But as a family, where would you say families should go? And is it a good idea to maybe split your accommodation? I've done that, and I think that was probably one of our better times doing it.
Yeah, 100% split the accommodation, because each area is very, very different. So for my kids personally, I've got a 6 and 10-year-old. They love Nusa Dua because there's kids clubs, there's other kids, there's really good atmosphere within the resort. Great pools, great beach, really, really easy. And then you've also got, like, Seminyak area where there's amazing villas. So, you can just sit there with a family, especially if you travel with another group of families. Get a big villa, private pool, private chefs, just relax, go out to nice restaurants, come back. So that's a really, really good spot as well. Canggu is probably not the place for you. Realistically.
So tell me what Canggu's like today. I mean, it's over the years you would have seen it develop from something that was really quite quiet to this bustling area now.
Yeah, it's basically Canggu was a place where all the surfers and yogis used to hang out. So it's like where Echo Beach is. So there's really good surf, awesome restaurants, and the access is a motorbike. You get in there on a motorbike, and, like, if you want to get in there on a car, it can take some time. And then when COVID happened, a lot of people kind of went into Canggu, and then there was a big influx of expats as well, and they all kind of went into Canggu because that was where there was still atmosphere going on. But then it's gotten really, really busy. So if I still go there every trip, like, I'm going there on Sunday. I go there every trip still because I still I still love it. But I wouldn't take my kids there because once you're in Canggu, especially like in Batu Balong, like you're stuck there. Like, unless you're
a good tip.
Yeah, because it takes a real long time to get out by cars. So if you're happy just to be stuck in Canggu and do the restaurants and all those things, it's great. But don't be expecting that during the day you can drive out to Uluwatu or you can drive out to Ubud or even go to Seminyak. It can take a bit of time.
I'm glad that I know this now. And when we're talking about Seminyak, so with kids, the idea is maybe to do a couple of days or a week at Nusa Dua and then do your time in the villa in Seminyak and experience that sort of more of the restaurant scene that's there, the day spas, that kind of thing.
Yeah, or even Ubud. Like, I love Ubud. Like, you can have the beach and then you can have the jungle. And I actually say to people, this may sound really weird, but what happens depends on what happens with the sun. So on the east side, where Nusa Dua and Sanur is, that's where the sun rises.
Yes.
So people get up early, they spend time at the beaches, by the pool and everything. On the west side, that's where the sun sets. So this is like Canggu, Seminyak, Legian, Kuta. That's where it comes to life at night. So that's where you go out to the nice restaurants, cocktails, on the beach, you're watching the sunset. And then that's basically what happens when you're on the holiday. So it's very different experiences from one side of the island to the other. And then the jungle in Ubud is just it's just amazing.
Relax time.
Yeah, just relax time. You can do waterfall trips. There's ATV tours. There's outstanding spas, and the restaurants like Aperitif is one of the best restaurants in Bali, and which is in Ubud.
Add it to the list.
Absolutely. Yeah. Should we talk about restaurants?
Can we? And we might do that while we also talk about if you want to go to Bali and you just want to have a rocking good time.
Yeah.
Where do I want to stay and where do I want to go?
Yeah. If you want to have a rocking good time, Uluwatu is great. You can't beat Seminyak.
Yeah.
Like Seminyak, there's a
Beach
great
clubs.
Vibe, beach clubs, coup d'etat, potato head. Even go Canggu, you have a rocking good time. Like absolutely. You've got like La Brisa, which is like this. It's kind of like you're in this tree house, which has got these pools overlooking Echo Beach. So you can sit there and have cocktails. People out the front surfing. They do an awesome Sunday market. Like it's one of the best Sunday markets. And then you've got the Lawn, which is next to like Old Man's, which Old Man's is like a really cool, the original. And then the Lawn is just, the development that they've done there is fantastic. Like great pool, really good dining, rooftop to have a look at the sunset. So yeah, it's a good spot.
And when we're speaking about dining, can we please speak about buffets? Because I know people think buffet and they go, oh, buffet.
Yeah.
But no, this is not that.
No, I'm not a buffet man, but I am a buffet man at the Mulia. I would have to say the Mulia in Nusa Dua.
And that's probably one of the really popular ones for luxury escapes
It is, yeah. It's one of our best sellers. It's called the Cafe, and it would have to be one of the best buffets in the world. It is huge. So you walk in and then there's like this Japanese section with all the sushi and the sashimi and all like freshly caught. And then you go into this chocolate area, which is all these chocolates with chocolate fountains. And
kids go wild?
Oh, yeah. My son, I've never seen him eat so much food in all of his life. He loves it.
And can you go there if you're not staying there?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that they also do an outstanding Sunday brunch at Soleil. And that's the great thing about Bali. Like you can go into these luxury resorts and they do these really cool activations throughout the week. So W's got a great Sunday brunch. The Sofitel in Nusa Dua's got one. Like the Mulia's got one.
Have you tried them all?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I've tried a lot of them. Yeah.
And the Mulia for you is the one that I don't want to miss
for buffets.
For buffet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if we're talking dining, like Kempinski in Nusa Dua as well, they've really taken it to a whole new level. So they've got the only aquarium restaurant. It's called Coral, which is just outstanding seafood.
When you say aquarium restaurant,
like you're under the water with all the sharks and everything going over the top of you. They've got Bayun, which is like a Japanese hot pot. Like they've just taken the dining to a whole new level, which is outstanding. But then you've got you've got so many restaurants just on the streets and rurungs.
Yes, well, can we talk about that too? So when we're dining, you've got your high-end dining, but I always think in Bali everything is that little bit cheaper anyway than say another overseas destination. But if we want to experience local food, we can go out into the street and you can get an amazing satay or an amazing noodle dish for like a couple of bucks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And there's really like the Good Food Brotherhoods that they've opened a lot of really nice restaurants and cafes throughout Bali, like Milk and Madu, which you may have heard of, which is in Barara. They've got like Ulakan, which is great, authentic Indonesian. So if you don't want to eat a rurung, you can still get fantastic, authentic Indonesian and Balinese food at restaurants. And then there's some amazing steakhouses as well. Like,
what's the steakhouse you told me about?
There's Sijin, which it's really hard to get into, so it's about a 3-month wait list.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So book early before you go?
Yeah, you got to book really early.
Yep.
And so the reservations come like Ritz-Carlton Mandapa in Ubud is outstanding. And then you've got Suri Bali, which is just like north of Canggu.
And what makes the Ritz-Carlton so good?
It's the dining's exceptional. They've got this big flowing river that runs through it. It kind of feel like you're on the Mekong Delta. It's these private villas that overlook the river with waterfalls. Like it's a whole new level.
Romance on steroids.
Romance on steroids. But my personal favourite is Sumba.
Okay.
So Sumba is, you're flying, you can fly from Jakarta into Sumba, from Bali into Sumba. Nihi's there. Nihi's been voted the #1 resort in the world the last two or 3 years. That's a fantastic resort.
It is on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's exceptional. Nihi, Sumba in general is kind of like you're going to Bali 20, 30 years ago. Like there's hardly any tourists. There's not many locals. Whenever you see a local, they're all waving to you as you drive by. It's spectacular. My colleague Troy and I, we were there for the weekend and we were surfing. We didn't see one person for 6 hours. There wasn't even a footprint on the beach until some local kids just came out swimming and waving at us. It's a magical destination.
And let's talk about some of the islands now, other islands as well, and what you recommend them for if you're going with a big group or if you're on your own. What sort of suits?
Yeah, Nusa Lembongan's really easy. So there's a new
ferry.
Yeah. There's a new harbour that's been built in Sanua, so it's brand new. And there's a hotel in Nusa Lembongan called Batu Karang, and the owner there, Troy, he's got the fastest boat in Bali. So it took me 13 minutes from Sanua to Nusa Lembongan.
Okay, so not difficult, and it's something we really got to factor in when we want a relaxing holiday.
Correct.
Getting somewhere quickly.
Access. So Nusa Lembongan is the easiest access for an island. Great surfing, very chilled, relaxed. You can go around the island in a car or a motorbike. So that's a really easy island experience, and you definitely feel like you've left Bali.
Okay,
it feels totally different. And then you've got Lombok. So Lombok is like if you're going with a group of friends, you've been to Bali before, or you just want something a bit different. Lombok's fantastic. So you can get a speedboat there, which takes 1.5 to 3 hours. You can get a slow ferry, which can take about 5 hours, or you can fly there, which takes 30 minutes. So the access is really easy. And it's just a fun island. Like you've got the Kuta area. It's also called Kuta down the south, which there's a bit more of a buzz. There's restaurants on the beach, cafes, and then you can go up to the volcanoes and the waterfalls, and it's quite a big island, so you can spend a bit of time there.
Have you sort of seen every inch of Bali? I feel like you have.
I've seen a lot. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Lombok's great, and Lombok, I would definitely recommend, if you're in your 20s, your 30s, and this is your first overseas experience or your second overseas experience, you just want to do something a bit different. Really safe, really easy to get around. It's a really good introduction to travel.
And what is it that's so magical about Bali for you? I want you to give me the top 3 must-dos when you're there and why you love it so much.
Yeah, it's so magical for me because every time I go there, it's changed. The first time I went to Bali, I hated it.
Yeah, you said.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
It's a bit of an if you haven't been. It's a bit of an assault on the senses.
Absolutely. But then it's evolved so much throughout the years. Like the level, especially like the level of luxury, is just a whole new level. And I don't mean what the pool looks like or what the room's like. It's just the standard of the service, the food quality, the spas, the masseuses, whatever it is. Like at Mulia as an example, like you won't see the staff there until you're sitting by the pool and you're like, man, Jacqui, I feel like a cocktail. And then you turn around and then they're just walking towards you. So that's kind of what you get in Bali, and that's what I really, really love. And they're just so warm and welcoming.
The Balinese people are the most beautiful people.
They are. They've got great souls.
Yeah.
And then there's always new things to explore. Like I've already got restaurants lined up for this trip.
And you go basically every other week. So
Yeah. And there's always new places like, my friends are like, try this, try that. Yep. Oh, this spot's popping. Like, go into this spot. Like there's a lot going on here. So what's
on the list for you when you go?
There's one restaurant I'll always go to.
Yeah.
So Shelter in Perenam, I absolutely love it. So
Whereabouts is that?
Perenam.
Perenam. So yep, that's near
so,
those who haven't been.
Yeah, so you've got Canggu.
Yep.
And then because Canggu's getting so busy, people are just moving a little bit further north into Perenam.
Okay.
And then there's this road with all these cool new restaurants opening up. So Shelter's one that I absolutely love. Yep. I love steak, so Ulma Garden, going there. So they're probably the two that I'm looking forward to. I haven't been to Ulma Garden
And
yet.
in terms of surfing, I know you've mentioned that you're a big surfer.
Yeah.
So for our listeners who maybe haven't been to Bali before and they are surfers, where's their must go to?
Yeah, I'm going to stick to the spots that everyone knows, so some don't get too busy.
You're going to keep your secrets your secrets.
Absolutely. So obviously Uluwatu is great.
Yeah.
You only want to go there if you're experienced. Padang especially, because obviously, the locals have got that pretty much tied up. Keramas is fantastic. So that's where they used to have like the WCT event, which is a really good right-hander. There's a great resort there, actually. It's called Commune Resort. And it'd be right up your jam as well.
Look, everything is in Bali.
So, great surf there. Canggu's great. Further up north even, you go up past Shandy Beach and right up north, up the east coast, there's a lot of great spots. But then you've got all the or out to the islands. So there's just something there for everyone and all budgets as well. So you can stay at a really nice property for $150 a night.
Yeah.
Or you can stay at an elite property for $5,000 a night. But there's levels of luxury for everyone in Bali. It's not like you go to some other destinations and it's either the luxury's okay, like it's the standard's not fantastic, or there's other destinations where it's just unaffordable for most people. Like if you want to go to luxury in Switzerland, you need a bit of money.
Yeah, we don't need that in Bali though.
No,
we can still have a wonderful time. Aaron, I'm packing my bags. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Experience more of the world's best holiday destinations with Luxury Escapes, with more inclusions, more value and more expertise. Find and book everything you need from hotels and resorts to flights, tours, cruises and experiences. Stay up to date with other episodes of Travel in 20 on Spotify, Apple or wherever you get your podcasts. And visit luxuryescapes.com to get more from your next holiday.